are together.
We did have pints one time, and now we're just best friends.
Besties. Besties who are together.
All right.
So exciting. Yes. So welcome everybody to What's Cooking with Dr. Cook and Deanna today.
We're gonna go dry the edamame.
Woo! Yes, and we are making edamame. Yes. It's a celebratory emoji type of day, for sure.
It's a Saturday.
Yes. And we are making such a good snack. Oh my gosh. So charred edamame is something simple and nutritious and also fun. And there is a little something extra.
So do we start with the pound?
Yes. Oh, so we're going to run through the ingredients. We're also going to do some talking during the show because it's not every day that you have two Fireside creators together on one show. And it really was a love story in the making because we did have virtual pints together on a show. And it was just such a fun experience that I was like, hey, I actually have to fly across the country to do a show with you. And here we are today, and it's so exciting. So, yay! For sure. So I will just let everybody know in advance that we are in fact cooking with 1 pound of edamame. Now, edamame is a soy, very nutritious, very low calorie, and I will be the first to say that the first time I had edamame, I did not know how to eat it correctly. So that is something we will actually be displaying, how to eat it appropriately. If you don't know how to do that, I don't want you to make the same mistake that I did. So, which I don't know if you did that or not, if you ate it inappropriately the first time you had edamame.
I don't know what any appropriately means. I pop it out and just eat it.
Right. So you didn't eat the whole thing.
I did not. I did not.
A little extra fiber.
A little extra fiber.
Yes.
I don't measure, y'all. I'm a cook from New Orleans, so we don't measure anything, but I'm pretty good at just, figuring it out. I'm usually pretty right.
Yes. Well, I mean, that looks like 1 tablespoon of canola oil to me, so.
But it's olive oil. Because I'm not a fan of canola. So it's olive oil. You could probably add, at the end, a little bit of sesame oil if you wanted to, kick it up a little bit, but
I love sesame oil.
Yeah. I don't know the flash point for it. It's probably not one that you cook too hot, and so that, that's what we're going to be doing here, so.
Oh, for olive oil?
Yeah.
Definitely a lower smoke point than the other oils, but still delicious.
But no, I was saying no for
sesame. Sesame, probably mid. Yeah, not as high. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Delicious.
So we'll let that get hot. So this is the other. You want to show them the secret ingredient?
There is a secret ingredient today. I'll let you introduce it.
Okay. So this is what we're cooking with. It's black pepper essential oil. So this recipe I got when we did a little cooking class with essential oils, and we did a bunch of different things. This is just something I add to the salt. I just keep putting it in there till it tastes right. It's, oh my God, I wish we had smell-o-vision.
Yeah, that'd be great. So it's pink Himalayan salt mixed with this food grade essential oil.
Yes.
So
it is food grade, hence the label. It's called the Vitality oil.
Yes.
So it's specifically labeled for ingestion. Yes. All right. That seems like it's pretty hot. So we heat that. And then we're going to stir these in so they're coated. I don't know if we can fit the whole pound, but I think we can.
I think we can. We're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
Wonderful.
You guys are watching it? Oh, yeah. I forgot that we have the other camera. Look at that.
Yes,
That's
beautiful.
I love it. I feel like I could totally just do a cooking show for sure.
Hear the crackles.
I wonder if they can hear it. My mic is muted, but they probably can hear it still.
Now, what kind of dishes do you serve the charred edamame with?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, I eat it just like this. I got on a kick when I first started making this, and I would just make it and eat it, and that's it. But I think that for anything that anything that has an Asian influence, like, if you make a stir fry or something, you can put that in there with it. And then the idea, I don't like that one. The idea is that you're going to just keep stirring it until it's charred. So most of the time when you eat the edamame, you eat it steamed, right? And or they might boil it, flash boil it or whatever. But in this case, all you're going to do is make sure it's all coated, and then you're going to kind of stop stirring once everything is coated, and then you're going to let it char in the pan.
This is definitely something I have never done before, is let something like char, so I'm excited about this.
And it's a completely different flavor. It's so, the first time I was like, because I really love the taste of edamame. The first time I ever had it, I was like, oh my God, it's so good. And so I was like, don't ruin edamame for me, because I was like, but it's delicious.
Yeah, I mean,
I got addicted to it.
I usually just have it with a little bit of salt, but this is different.
And so the recipe calls for flake salt, which is typically what you put on it, but I like the pink salt.
Yes.
For me, with the pink salt, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's saltier, so you use less of it, so you don't get as much sodium in it, but you have a whole lot of other micro nutrients, or what is it, like magnesium, what are they called? My brain is not working.
No, actually, you're right. Those would be micronutrients, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
And with the pink Himalayan salt, it is chunkier. Mm-hmm. So, you do use less when you are cooking with it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of chefs like to use it. In terms of like the actual sodium content, it's still the same sodium amount if you were to actually like break it down. But the fact that it's chunked though,
right,
you do use less.
Right.
Yeah.
And for some reason, with whatever the way whatever's in it, the minerals, that's what I was trying to think of. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever minerals are in it, when they are combined, it tastes saltier, so you don't need as much.
Exactly.
But I do know that pound for pound, it has the same sodium, but if you're not using it as much and getting that taste that you want, well, there you go. I'm going to keep picking out the little stems.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I do mention with people when they are choosing salts is that, and this is kind of rare for Americans in general, because we do get so much salt from all the different processed foods that we eat on the daily. But if you happen to be somebody who just eats a significantly low salt diet, you do need iodine, which you get your salt like fortified with iodine, regular salt, which if you do choose like a pink Himalayan or a sea salt, it doesn't have iodine in it, which,
where else can you get iodine naturally?
Oh, you can get it from seaweed. That's a really good source of it. The whole reason why we need it is to prevent something called goiters, which are, growths on the side of the throat. It also promotes thyroid health to make sure that you're getting enough iodine. But, if you're somebody who actually eats, some processed food, you're not eating like a very 100% clean diet all the time, like, most of us don't, you're probably getting enough salt, which means that please, use these different types of salts. They bring so many different flavors into your cooking, and tastes delicious. I mean, the pink Himalayan salt is one of the best, I feel, to even like flavor fish. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things that I like just salt on it. You know, like it doesn't need to be over seasoned.
Yes.
And so, you know, if you have a good steak, you don't have to over season it, you know.
Agreed.
Anyway, it's starting to, yeah, you can tell like the oil is starting to like really stick. So it's starting to char. You're gonna have to keep flipping it because we have a full pan. I need to invest in a wok, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where you always kind of wonder, is that something that you invest in that is going to take up space in your place? But I love kitchen gadgets and gear.
Not this last time, but the time before when we moved, I got rid of everything and just bought like one set of pots, and that's it. And then a few like pampered chef things, like oven things.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I have like this, a couple of hefty ones, and then one set. And it was the smartest thing I ever did, because what you do is you wind up like, oh well, that one's dirty, but I got another one, or this isn't in the dishwasher right now, and it just kind of makes you just.
Yeah, so you guys don't see it, but Deanna has a really nice Dutch oven here, and it's gorgeous.
Really heavy, so
yeah.
I'd pick it up and show you, but I'd
yeah,
do it myself.
You can do so many different things with that. I mean, you can literally like stir fry in it. You can bake with it, and it goes everything.
And it's beautifully coated with the ceramic.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I have two of those. I have a red one too because I'm weird.
Yeah, no, it's one of my life goals is to have a really nice Le Creuset.
Right, exactly. I got the faux set.
Yeah, the faux set. I do too. But I want the Le Creuset someday when I
have a friend who has them, and actually, honestly, I feel like the Pampered Chef is pretty freaking close. The one thing that is nice about the Le Creuset is the covers are frying pans. So
okay,
they double.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So when you take the cover off, you can cook in it if you want. Ooh, that's looking amazing. Y'all see that? Y'all see the black on it? Y'all see it getting brown?
Yeah.
It is sizzling. Y'all don't want to eat this now, too.
I know. Poor Alex. He doesn't get to taste it.
Alex, hop in an Uber. Come on over. I'll send you the address. Are you finished with your, famous people?
He's crying. Oh, too bad. It is sad.
Sad. All right, well, you know what? While we have to let that sit for 30 seconds, let's show them what I got. I'm totally dieting right now, but,
We lost the edamame. Let's have to come back.
Oh, temperature.
Oh, no. The temperature of the phone is too hot.
Uh-oh. Getting a temp warning.
Interesting.
Well, feel it.
Ah! Yeah, that is hot.
I was worried about my headset, and
is this gas? Is that why? Oh, it's gas. You see, this is fancy. I want a gas burner so bad.
You know what, y'all? I'm gonna stick it in the freezer for a second.
So while Deanna is sticking the phone in the freezer to let it cool down,
let's show them this. Can you see what this says?
Love you bunches.
And then this is the cutest thing ever.
It's a heart.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I have a fancy bottle opener too.
Those are always the best if they DIY. Oh, wow.
Do you want to do it on camera?
Yeah, I really wish that.
So this is a needle that goes into the bottle. I don't know if I can do it holding it. Okay. Compressed air. It's getting low, so it's... Woo! The compressed air is getting low, so there it is.
That's amazing.
I got to get a new cartridge. And then this just turns.
Yes.
Okay. Here you go. Let's snip it. Oh, it's got a heart on this side too.
Oh, wow.
This is a new one. I haven't tried it before.
It's always good to have ergonomic options for opening up wine. I think we actually have one too. It's just the easier, ways to get off of the.
I used to have the electric one.
Yeah, that's what I have right now. But that is nice.
Turn that off. All right.
It's looking nice and charred. Smelling very good right now.
I can't get to my aerator. All right. So it's in the.
That is one thing. I'm not sure.
Are you okay with small?
I am. Okay. I mean, but we
use my wicked wine glasses. I mean, you can refill it.
Yes.
It's not like nobody's going to make you stick to this size.
This is exciting.
It's a blend.
Thank you.
I've been really loving the blends lately.
Cheers.
Oh, it's zesty. It's got a little.
It's very good.
Zing. Okay.
Oh, it does. Sometimes cooking is just better with wine.
Yeah. And friends.
And friends, yes.
All right, so we turned it off. I can't. We're gonna just paper plate it because I'm fancy like that. My dishes are behind the light ring, so here we are. All right, so what we do now is, unfortunately, let's see if we can show it in here.
Yes.
That's what we look like. Okay.
Yes.
I'll get the other one out in just a minute. I'm sure it's cooling off. We don't want to. We'll leave some. We'll send some to Alex.
Aw.
We'll leave some for Dan. He might. Alex is like, yeah. Please don't leave me out.
I'm very excited to try the salt.
Right. So you do put a little bit of the cracked pepper on it. Interestingly, the oil and the pepper have two different flavors. So you can use them combined. So like if you're making Italian dishes and you have oregano in there, you use those dry flakes and herbs. It's great. And you want to put a little extra kick to it. Literally dip a toothpick in the oregano oil and swirl it. It is super, super strong. But there is a freshness to it that is different than just the oregano.
Okay.
Same like with salsa, you can add lime, so there's a whole lot of different things. So we're gonna crack the pepper.
Opening up my world here.
And then we're gonna sprinkle the salt. Well, we probably needed to change the camera views anyway. This is for Allison. I don't know how much you want, but this is supposed to be kind of salty.
Yes.
You can add more if you need to. All right, let me get my phone out the freezer.
Chris says I went to high school with an edamame. That is nice. Was he salty?
All right, so let's see if I can get back in here now.
I'm excited to try these. Oh, yay.
My Wi-Fi seems to be dead, but my phone is alive. Okay, let's do this.
A little feedback there.
Okay. And
wonderful.
I think that you have to invite me to camera.
Oh.
I don't know why. Doesn't have me. I don't have the option to do it myself. All right. All right. Well, the oven is off now, so we can.
Oh, maybe. There's so many of me.
There we go.
Yay. Oh, let's see the back of my hair. It's been humid. Oh no, a side of my hair. There's so much.
What are we going to eat in?
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I got addicted to it. Because
Yes.
addicting.
All right.
Could
So
use a little more salt, actually.
you don't want to eat the whole thing, which is what I did. The first time I had edamame, I didn't know any better. You just, grab them right out of the pod. You don't eat the outside.
No, don't eat the outside. Just scrape it out.
Which I did. I mean,
I don't know. Sometimes I do scrape the skin a little bit off the outside. That little bit of fiber is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw your trash away.
Well, okay.
It's empty now, so. All right. That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
It's also not on my diet tonight. Nor the alcohol.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with these. These are perfect.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm doing macro dieting.
Oh, yeah.
So where would this fit in? Is it a fat? Is it a protein? This is mostly a protein, right?
Oh, man. I would say these are... Well, let's take a look at here. I don't know how much protein these have. Do they have protein?
I don't know. I thought soy was a protein.
Yeah, soy's a protein. Whoa, okay.
That's okay. My house is all lopsided.
All right, so 2/3 of a cup, 11 grams of protein.
That's good.
Yes. 11 grams of carb, 4 grams of dietary fiber. So that is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And before the salt, 5 milligrams of sodium.
Right.
So fantastic. We love this.
That's good.
Yeah, these are wonderful. And again, keep salt in your diet.
Do you need more than what we did? They're good.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. Like I personally did not grow up in a household where we salted foods, but I also think that came because my mom cooked with cans of different types of soups and creams of everything into casseroles. It was already there. So
right.
So we just, that wasn't something that we did. So I've never really appreciated the salting of the foods until my later years. And, I've never had blood pressure issues. So I'm guessing that's a good thing, but.
Yeah. Well, it's delicious.
Yeah, this is delicious.
I forgot how good it is. So I'm so glad we had to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, this is really good.
I do know that health effects of people who have low blood pressure, that has been really difficult for people when you have to take salt tablets to keep your blood pressure up and whatnot. So
yeah, my sister-in-law has issues with that and like pernicious anemia and stuff like that. And she has to add sodium. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On purpose. So
absolutely. One thing that does
I feel like you gotta get in the camera.
Yeah.
No shade.
Okay.
I don't bite.
So I do
Usually.
I do feel that one thing that might be my dietetic pet peeve is when people get their food at a restaurant and they salt it before they taste it.
Yeah.
So that might be my only pet peeve, because I do feel like, if you haven't had the food before, you should taste it before you salt it, because I think that might delay added sodium in the diet, just from my dietetic point of view.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and that would be a question for the audience. Like, do you do that? Do you salt your food before you taste it, or are you tasting your food and then salting it?
We should get people to come up and talk to us.
Yeah, I would love that. Come up and talk to us while we're eating our delicious charred edamame.
If you're talking, we can eat.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Come on. Everybody's gonna be shy.
Or did you?
Chris always gets on stage.
Yeah.
Come on, Chris.
I would also love to know if people grew up eating salt on your fruit.
Yes. Watermelon, yes.
Hey, Alex.
Hey guys, that looks delicious. I can't wait to try some. Just a couple questions. Well, like one question, one comment, I guess. The heat. What level of heat do you char at? Do you want to char at a high heat for a short period of time, or do you char like on a low and a slow?
Oh, yeah, I had my heat on 8. I had my heat on 8, and it goes up to 9.
Okay, so high heat.
So, yeah, high, 30 seconds, let it char, stir, 30 seconds, stir until everything's kind of charred to the level that you want evenly. Yeah.
Looks so good. Good to try. Then my comment, I guess, the salting. I never put salt on food growing up, except for eggs is like the one and only thing that I salt. And I'll salt the eggs before I even taste them because I know they don't have salt on them because I made them. That's it. I've never salted fruit. I think that's bizarre. I've heard people doing it on a watermelon. That never appealed to me. I don't see what salt would add to a watermelon, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, try it. It is good. I mean, it's not the only way I eat it, right? Like, I love watermelon just plain, but I do love it with salt on it, too.
Same. I had never had salt on watermelon until I moved to North Carolina, and then I tried it, and I loved it, actually. I thought it was really good.
And tomatoes and cucumbers are technically fruit. And if you don't salt those, something's wrong with you.
Does Italian seasoning count?
Yes, I'm sure it's full of salt.
Yum. Yeah.
But I can eat a tomato like an apple.
Oh.
Just cut it in half, put salt on it, and eat it. So good. So, yeah. There's that.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yes.
That was nice. Anybody else? Who else is in here? Let's call some people out.
We got Chris, fellow foodie. Hello, Stacy. I don't think I've seen you before. Lenzel.
Yeah. And me and you and Alex.
Yeah.
And Jason, whose mic doesn't work.
Oh, otherwise, Jason always likes to talk food. Jason apparently is a master stir fryer, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is probably right up his alley.
Yeah, I bet so.
Charring it.
For sure.
I just feel like this would go good or the side of like some type of noodle dish.
Yeah, I don't think that like I eat enough edamame in my life, but now I definitely will be. I also am really I've been interested in the whole food grade essential oils because that is definitely something I just had never been exposed to before. But when you put it in the salt, the smell, just everything just really just came out. Like, what other oils have you cooked with that you've been like, wow, like that really took it up a notch?
Right. So lime in salsa. So if you buy like pico de gallo from the store, I think it's better than pico. If you buy some really good fresh pico and you put 3 drops of lime in it and mix it up, you will think that you made it just now. Literally. You can put it in guacamole too. A couple drops in guacamole.
Oh, awesome.
Lemon in my water, right? We do that all the time. It's not sweet at all.
Okay.
So just remember that, it's not going to be sweet, so don't overdo it. 2 drops is plenty.
Perfect.
I had a mint julep that was made, the simple syrup was made from blueberries and spearmint. And so they took the blueberries, muddled them up, and soaked them in the water. And that's what the simple syrup base was. And then you put that in with the bourbon and mint leaves. And when I tell you I'm not a mint julep person, it tasted like it had snowball in it. And if you've ever been here, then snowballs are a thing. And have you ever had a snowball?
I don't think I've had a snowball. So what is a snowball?
All right, so we'll do that Saturday. How long is our thing Saturday? How long does it last?
We have all day. I mean, I think it starts at 6:30 in the morning.
I know, but when's it end?
It never ends. I
Oh,
know, like I
okay.
think so. The actual event itself. Okay, can we tell? Can we tell them about it? So we have an event on Saturday. It is one of my favorite things to partake in every year. I look forward to it so much. It is a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for breast cancer research, but it's called the New Orleans Running of the Bulls, and it is essentially where you
The roller derby girls?
yeah. So if you are participating, you dress up in all white, and then there are bulls that chase you, and they are roller derby girls from all over the country, dressed up as bulls that chase you with football bats. And it's honestly, it's one of the best
Am I
times.
participating?
Yeah,
With the ticket I have now? Am I
yeah.
participating?
So you have to wear white.
Oh my god!
And you get a handkerchief, and you get like a T-shirt, and
Okay.
they have they'll have a band there that you will know because apparently they're like a big thing around here. I'll have to look up who they are, but they have chiefs like
Yeah, the Indian Chiefs.
yeah, they have like a yeah. And
So Mardi Gras Indian Chiefs, we have a culture here with the African American and Indian influence that was combined. It's such a big like melting pot. We had, we had Latino, we had Spanish and French. We had, so that's where the Creole comes from. It's just that big mix. But that's what the Indian Chiefs are. They actually have like tribes, and they beat all of that stuff themselves by hand. It's insane.
Yeah, actually, that's one of my favorite parts of the show Treme was learning like how intricate that beating process was. Really great show.
It's rough to watch. I've watched them, but I had to stop. But
yeah,
I guess I went through Katrina. So
yeah, I bet that was really hard actually being from here and watching that.
Yeah. I didn't finish it.
Yeah. It just it's like Deanna said, like every single one of their outfits is made with a story and has like a purpose to it. And they're every year. I mean, each one they do one for every year, right? And then they parade them.
Right.
All different parades, right?
Right. So they actually have some days that they have for their parades, specifically. And then, they will be at Mardi Gras parades. They will be at, they're at Jazz Fest. Certain days they're out on the bayou. They have a function that they do on the bayou. They do a bunch of different things. So, yeah, it's fun. A lot of culture. You go see them at Jazz Fest because you can kind of really learn the culture at Jazz Fest. They have their own little tent that they
that's awesome.
Talk about, everything. Their tambourine playing is drumming. So the skin on the tambourine is used like a drum, and they have certain beats that are like calls, and then other people who know it answer.
Oh wow,
the beat. So it's cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. All right.
We've done some touristy stuff here over the years. Again,
we haven't had a snowball yet. Well, that's what that's. Yes.
So what is a snowball?
Okay, so other places have something called a snow cone, right? Where
like the
you get shaved ice with a flavor on it.
Mm-hmm.
But here, the ice is shaved so fine, it's like powder.
Ooh.
And so it's called a snowball because it's like snow. So it's real important. Like if you go to some place and your ice is not like fine powder snow, you judge them. Like you're like,
I do like to judge.
This is not a good snowball. Don't go to this place. So there's a place called Hanson's, and then my personal favorite, Hanson's is probably one of the most famous places. But my favorite place is Plum Street, which is uptown, and it is it's also famous. And then there is another place that just got on the map. I think they were in the New Yorker recently.
Really?
It's called Chance and Hell Snowball, and
Okay.
they work out of their house.
Oh, wow.
And you go up to their house on the corner, and so they are two people in the LGBTQ community, IA, whatever comes after
Yeah.
it, because I don't know them all, but they're in that community.
Yeah.
And so they work out of their house, and they promote that, and they support, whatever.
Activism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So, so we could go to any one of those places.
Okay, cool.
Now, that place has non-traditional flavors.
Okay.
Chance and Hell. So, like, if you want the traditional experience, you go to Hanson or go to Plum Street. If you want non-traditional with alcohol in it, even, you go to Chance and Hell. I mean,
interesting. All right. This is very cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was funny because we were talking about what places you haven't been, and I didn't even think about snowballs. I was walking through Whole Foods today, and I'm like, well, Whole Foods has a whole New Orleans restaurant in it too. Here, a New Orleans counter, right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure I've been to a Whole Foods. I'm to be honest,
Really?
I would like to. I don't live in a big city, so
So the Whole Foods that's closest to us, well, it's not the closest, but it's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that far. It has a noodle bar in it, like a noodle stand, like pho.
Yeah.
And then it's got the New Orleans flavor,
Gotcha.
stand. So so it has both in there, and you can aside from Whole Foods also is known to have their deli, which also cooks. So they have self-serve that you can put in containers and make meals out of it. So you can have, and you just pay by the pound. You know what I'm saying?
That is cool.
So it's not that's also there too. So yeah.
We did do a big NOLA, must do last night. We did go to the Commander's Palace.
Oh, good.
Yes, which was delicious. Oh my goodness, it was very good. Yeah, I was very happy that we went there. So that was
the food's amazing.
one thing we haven't done in our past 8 trips. So
Right. No, you told me that. So one of the things too is restaurants here. If you have a restaurant that's been around 100 years, 80 years, 30 years,
yeah,
they're good, because a restaurant here, if you're not good, it's not going to last. Because we are, we are a foodie place that we don't realize it, but we are. Other people recognize it. We're just like, no, we ain't eating that.
Yeah, well, that totally makes sense.
But you can get good food in a hole in the wall too sometimes. So
definitely, like our favorite breakfast place I was telling you about, Daisy Dukes.
Right.
It kind of looks like it would be a hole in the wall. The best breakfast.
Well, have you been to Ruby Slipper?
No.
It'll be Daisy Dukes.
Really? Oh.
So that's another one you'll have to try.
Oh, wow.
They've opened, they started here, but they've opened a couple of locations that are not in the state. And I do think that there is one in a Carolina somewhere. You're going to have to look and see.
Okay, I will, yeah.
Because I can't remember, but I don't know what makes me think that there's something over that way too. So, yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
All right.
Yeah. So if you had to, give your top 5 things that somebody would, a first timer coming to NOLA, would have to do or eat, what would they be?
Do or eat. So I think one of the best things you can do coming here is go into the World War II Museum. I think that's an amazing experience.
Amazing.
We also have a really cool aquarium.
Yes.
Zoo, but
yes.
And they rank pretty high.
Agree.
Our Audubon Society is pretty good. I would say if you want to do things that are inexpensive, taking the streetcar. You can like start in, like right here. We could walk to the streetcar and ride it into the city. Okay. And it's $1.25 per person, exact change. So you're not getting your change if you don't have the right change.
You know what though? So we love the streetcars. we thought we could get Jazzy passes at like Walgreens or CVS. And they said they're not selling them anymore.
Yeah.
And who carries cash?
I don't know what to tell you about
that was a little something.
The
system.
New Orleans politics. I mean, nobody's going to ever understand that. Okay. So I don't even try. We have a water main. I took a picture of it, a video of it today when I was walking, and I'm like, okay, like it has literally been broken and leaked, bubbling up out of the cap onto the street for 6 months. I have reported it. It's been so long that there's algae built up from there, and the water is flowing. So you know what it takes for algae to build up when you have water flowing? A long time.
Wow.
It's been there a long time.
Wow.
I took a picture and I tagged them in it. I'm like, seriously, you guys? Like, what's the water pressure on that street? Because I would be so aggravated. I don't know how long is this going to keep running? Anyway, you just, you learn to live with those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that being said, if you're not here for like something, like I think and everybody should experience Jazz Fest, but if you're not here for a function, like if you're not here for Mardi Gras Jazz Fest, I think Frenchman Street is something good to experience. If you've never experienced Bourbon Street and you're dying to experience it, go for it. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe everybody should experience it once. I don't know. But Frenchman has a little bit more focus on music and jazz, and so you can, it's, less cover bands. They do have some cover bands there, but it's less about that and more about, the local artists. We have the riverboat. That's really fun. You can do dinners on the riverboat with a jazz
Is that the
theme
Naturals?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Riverboat Queen is on there too.
Okay.
So there's a couple. Trying to think, what else is there?
City Park's great.
City Park is amazing, and there's Storyland there. So it's a cute little place to visit. There's crazy goofy golf there, and then there's also NOMA is in City Park, which is the New Orleans Museum of Art, which is also a really cool place to visit. I think they have some Egyptian going on there right now. Nefertiti, am I saying her name right?
Nefertiti?
Yeah. So that's there. I can remember when I was a kid, when King Tut came through there. It was just so cool. It was like, King Tut. Yeah. So that's aging me. Then, and also in City Park, there's the Botanical Gardens, which is really nice too. So that's really pretty. There's a lot in City Park. I don't know. I just think you can't go wrong anywhere you go.
Yeah, I agree.
There's some really cool stuff uptown. There's a little place called Della Chase uptown. It's a bar, but they also serve certain little bar foods. But one of the things they serve there is just went out of my head. It's the custard dish. What is it called?
Creme brulee?
Yes, creme brulee. They serve. I'm not the texture of that. I'm not like the texture of that is not my thing, but they do it exactly perfect. So a shallower dish that's a little bit wider instead of the deep dish, and they crystallize that top sugar, and it is perfect. Yes. Mr. John's, if you want a steak here, Mr. John's is pretty much, in my opinion, the best steak that you'll get in the city. John's. So it's on St. Charles, so that's uptown. I mean, obviously, if you're eating, places like Deanna's, there's so many places you can get seafood from.
Somebody told me to go there today, actually.
If you want to be overloaded with food.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got the places like Commanders that is like, here's your portion. Right. And it's pretty and it's sweet and it's amazing combinations of flavors, and it's something you really just want to savor and enjoy the whole experience. If you want to you go to some place like Deanna's and you get like some overstuffed po' boy with shrimp falling off of it. Parkway is another one. If you're talking po' boys, Parkway Tavern is like probably known for the best po' boys around. Have you been there?
No, no.
Okay, there's so many places. Okay.
Yeah, see, I thought I had
didn't
seen
look
a
at your
lot.
list. I didn't look at your list. I'm asking you, have you been there? Because
No.
she sent me a list of where she's been, and I did not read it. Okay.
It was only like maybe 20 or 25 places. I mean, it wasn't that many, so, you know. But yeah, I still feel like, you know, I haven't seen enough. And,
Yeah.
you know.
And then there are these ghost tours that they do, and they also
Yes.
do graveyard tours. And I'm just saying, if you've never actually experienced a New Orleans graveyard, it's worth doing the tour.
Yep.
We have some really cool graveyards because our graves are almost all above ground.
Yep.
Because we live below sea level.
Yep.
So we have mausoleums. Pretty much every graveyard has a big mausoleum. But we also have all the tombs are concrete and built up above the ground. And so, you know, it's architecture of its own.
Definitely. And I think that I had read that that's because for a long time it was cremation wasn't legal with the Catholic Church,
Right.
But if the bodies were buried in that fashion, then nature kind of took its course because the body would heat up and then cremate itself. So that's why they're family
They are
so,
family.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage has one here.
I've been there. Oh my gosh. And there's so many lips on it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. People in the
He's
cemetery.
not even in there yet.
He's not in there, but apparently every single
Still
day
alive, just so y'all know.
the keeper of the cemetery has to go and wash off all of the red lipstick from all of the females who kiss his tomb every day.
And is he in the same graveyard with Marie Laveau?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So, and she's like one of the most well-known voodoo priestesses. So interesting stuff, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history, a lot of culture. I can't do the ghost tours. I did the ghost tour and I had to bow out in the middle.
Oh, really?
Because I can't take the stories that they tell as to how they became, you know, why there's a ghost here. Was a little too much for me. I was like, no, I'm going to go sit in this bar and cry and drink, and y'all can finish this tour. My family was here with us, and we're all from here, but, you know, we have relatives in Atlanta that came down, and they were like, you know, we've been here a bunch, but they wanted to do it, and so we did it, and I was like, yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of
but you know,
stuff.
The guys who do it are like legit. If you get the right one, the company, he's like, I can make my pulse stop. You know, he purports that he's on the vampire side, so you know, like, and you can feel his skin turn cold, and he'll show you how his blood stop. You can't find his pulse, and there's stuff, you know, he does, and then they know a lot of the history. They really do legitimately know a lot of the history, and I was just like,
that's amazing.
Not about that. I don't want to know that. It's too much. I mean, there's plantation tours too, you know, and that's not a bad thing to learn and see. I think that's one of the best ways to use the old plantations is to educate people. So that, you know, that's something, you know, if you wanted to. It takes a little while to get to those. Same thing with like alligator tours.
Oh, yes.
Takes a bit to get to those. It takes a little.
Swamp tours, definitely.
Yeah.
So
an alarm going off there.
Yeah,
while y'all are just looking at the food. Now.
Looking at the food. We've done the swamp tours and the airboat tours and the John Lafitte's park, I think it is, like where they have the swamp tours. It's gorgeous out there. Yeah. It is absolutely gorgeous. And we've only done the ones during the day, but apparently they have some at night, and you can go out and like right before the sun goes down, and then at night, apparently you can look out and see. All you see is the different colors of the eyes of all the different creatures that are out there, which is fascinating to me. I actually like really want to do that one. So. Yeah,
we had a camp in Mississippi, so we decided, we being my male cousins that were my age, we were teenagers, and you know, and we ranged. So there was our age, and there was a couple maybe a little bit younger, and then some that were 5 years older, and we just decided one night, oh, well, come on, we're going to go catch an alligator. We're going alligator hunting. Let's go alligator hunting. And we're like, okay, let's do it. Scariest thing ever.
Yeah, I bet.
Running over
Oh
now.
my
Like we would
goodness.
they would we with their eyes, and we didn't have them baited. They would just plow into him with the boat and noose him. And
Oh my goodness.
hit them in the head with a paddle to stun them and pull them into the boat. But then when they got in the boat, they didn't stay stunned.
No.
I was like, yeah,
That's terrifying. Yeah.
It was terrifying. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, because they're
But it tasted really good.
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
After it was all said and done, it was really tasty.
They are overpopulated. But
And there you go.
yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
got to be a better way. There is a better way. I mean, people who actually do it, they put the bait out. Yeah.
Yeah, we caught some. We didn't catch any. We got pictures with some alligators with a pole with a chicken leg. So,
Right. Yeah.
yes, but no, we weren't catching any alligators. It was
But you
it
saw
was simply a
being caught.
tour. Yes.
Funny.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
definitely. This is
All
awesome.
Well,
Oh, well, I'm so glad we made this.
me too.
We will be definitely making this at home. Like Alexander mentioned in his little chat that we have a bag of edamame in the freezer at home. So
When I
yay.
started doing this, I'm pretty sure it affected my hormones because I was eating soy
Oh,
every day for
Oh.
a while, right? So just remember, you guys, that also soy has a little bit of a hormone impact on you, right?
has phytoestrogens. You
Right.
do have to consume a lot though for
Right.
for
So
it
don't
to,
eat
you know.
a pound of edamame every day for weeks. That might be enough. I'm just saying. But
That's
yeah,
a lot. Well,
I did consume a lot. I'm just
a
joking. I don't
pound.
know.
I was
if
going to
it-
say a pound of edamame. Goodness gracious.
I don't know if really it did anything to my hormones. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of it.
I'm going to say 22 grams. Well, 22 grams of protein gets swole.
There you go. So,
That's a protein shake.
there you go.
Oh, I mean, it really is satiating, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it does
It's good.
make you feel full.
And the chard is a different flavor, right?
It tastes
it's
so good.
a whole different flavor.
It really does.
And I honestly think if you did it like this and you just added at the end a little sesame oil just while it was doing, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that flavor would even be like even better.
Definitely.
Same. Can't
I
play
love
with
it. Woo.
All
Ah,
right.
and
I'll
I love
send you home
sauce.
with some essential oils.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to play with it. The pico sounds amazing.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite foods of all time. So
Yes, it's so good in there. And just start small and add. You can, you know the rules. You can
I do.
always add. You can't
Yes.
take it away.
I'm always really bad about that. I need to taste more as I cook. Like usually I just put it all together and I'm like, yeah, all right.
Sometimes I smell it and it works, but
Right.
I'm a BLT. I'm a bite, lick, and taste person. I told her probably anytime you eat my food, you might have a little bit of my spit. I don't know.
It's like
I don't spit in it, but I can't promise I haven't licked my finger. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I've thought about it a few times. Like my hands are like covered in the salt. I'm like,
I
yeah, it's
have
not
licked my
proper.
fingers. Sorry, y'all. I straight up down my edamame and I done sucked all the salt off my fingers. Can't even tell they was dirty.
It's all good. So good.
I
Well-
don't have that kind of no shame.
No shame at all. We're having fun. It's so fun.
Oh well.
Well, oh, that's a good one right there because it's the actual edamame that came out and it's it's
so the
charred.
edamame got charged, not just the. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a thing too. That's another thing to try
Mm.
because you can buy them already shelled also.
That's a great idea too.
So there you go.
I mean, this
See?
is kind of a challenge though. I like to work for my food. That's why I like eating crab legs because like
Oh,
you
yeah?
gotta work for it. But that could be really good in like a dish. Mm-hmm. Some noodles with
Add
the
it.
sesame oil and
Yeah.
like some peanut something with some scallions.
See, look
Oh
at you.
yeah,
Your wheels are
I'm going
spinning.
there.
She's going
I'm going,
crazy. I
yeah.
don't eat peanuts and I don't eat scallions, but you go for it. I'll do it with shrimp and almonds though.
Ooh, that sounds great too. Throw it in there.
A whole bag of shrimp in there. Anyhow.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, does anybody have any comments or questions for us before we jump off here? We are just happy that you hung out with us too.
Yeah.
And we're happy we're hanging out.
I know. I know. Look, literally, she sent me this link to go to this thing on Saturday. And I was so wrapped up in all the mess that was going on, coming out of COVID and stomach viruses and all the things. And so I missed out on the VIP link. And I was like, I didn't get a ticket because I'm not going to have the VIP. And I'm going to be like, what if I can't? If I'm not a VIP, what's the point?
Yeah.
I got to be very important.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So she shared a link about winning. And I'm telling you, I think I won because I was probably the only person who called them out and said, hey, did you announce a winner? You said you were announcing the winner on Friday. And I messaged them about it. And they were like, oh, no, we're doing it on Tuesday after the 4th. And I was like, oh, I mean, my bad. I mean, I must be crazy because I'm pretty sure I thought I saw it said Friday. I know it said Friday because I checked it. So I just played off, all right, whatever. And then they texted me back, you had the best answer, you know, and I was like,
oh my gosh,
I was like,
amazing.
all right. So then I emailed them and they didn't answer. And I realized one of the people in the email, I didn't put the M on the .com, so it bounced back.
Okay.
So I emailed them again, and just that one person, because there were 2 people. And I emailed them again, and I said, hey, I hadn't heard back, you know. I was wondering, is this legit? Did I win? And he's like, oh, I didn't get an email. Maybe I got lost in the stuff. He immediately replied, sent me the link.
Oh, you're in for a fun.
Really, I don't know. I don't run.
It's just walking.
You know, I got running shoes. And B, not sure how I feel about being attacked by a paddle. Okay.
I mean, it's optional. I mean, you can wear like bike shorts or something.
So if I don't wear white, I don't get attacked?
Oh, no. I mean, if you're still, I mean, you'll want to wear white so you can feel as awesome as you'll feel. They have a special sangria. It's going to be so much fun. It's just going to be
look.
fun.
I didn't know there was a dress code.
I mean, you can wear whatever you want, but you'll want to wear like all white, like they do with the running of the bulls in Spain.
Okay, it's all white. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Only it's
probably don't have anything white that fits me, so I'm gonna have to go buy something white now. I have white shirts, but
that's fine.
I mean, I do have white pants, but it's going to be too hot to wear pants. I have white sweatpants and white jeans.
Yeah, I mean, you can just cut the sweatpants and the shorts.
No, it's got to be cuter than that. I'm sorry. I'll be taking Instagram pictures of me in cut off white shirt. Plus, my white sweatpants have graphics on them. I can't cut them off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that then. So.
All right.
Shopping. Well, you can find us at foodguides.com. We have articles and lots of information for acid reflux, GERD, low FODMAP lifestyle, and IBS sufferers, and lots of good stuff from Deanna. Lots of really helpful stuff. So,
right, because it's a lifestyle.
It is.
It's not just about what you eat, and it's not just about that. You have to reduce stress, reduce anxiety. You got to do all the other things too.
100%. And definitely check her out, deannawellness.com. Lots of good stuff, just all positivity and good friends, good fun, good stuff. So thanks for hanging out and have a good night, everybody.